He was always very interested, order, discipline, etc. We had our own little 2-member club, became 3-member club that we put together. John even named us Ye Loyal Knights of the Royal Order of Skull and Bones Society. Such fancy name. But whenever we met, John had even built a little altar in there, and we actually had a little ceremony every time we got together.
He always stood up for the underdog.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know how many women over the years have referred to John, talking to me, as their protector. And he was the root, I think, of John's personality was his respect for everybody.
We talked a great deal, he and I, about commitment to the community. We didn't use the French phrase engagé, but we really felt that we weren't so concerned about having the wife, the 2 kids, and the 2-car garage, which we talked about, you know, sort of like, that's sort of something we're not interested, that's not high on our priority list in life, and being involved and committed to community. This guy was talking about what is the meaning of life and how short it can be in high school.
And whatever he was doing, whomever he was talking to, is the most important thing. And if you read his writings, he did, in fact, seem to change his career goals. But every one, whether it was medicine or law or teaching or whatever, or being a clergyman, was of equal importance to him at that time. And I think you sense that when you talk to him.
He was an unusual guy in that he had a fantastic sense of humor and a fantastic sense of serious responsibility.
So we heard an Episcopal seminarian was killed. We didn't have any idea that it was John. And then we woke up the next morning and found John had passed.
My wife and I were vacationing in the area, came from Syracuse here, and we went to dinner at the Black Lantern restaurant. Mrs. Daniels came in with 3 of her friends to celebrate her birthday. I got up and went over and spoke with her, and she immediately told me of her concern. She knew John was in jail. She hadn't been able to contact him, very worried. It was her birthday. John never forgot her birthday. That made her very worried about the whole thing. This was like at 7 o'clock at night on the 20th. And somebody out here probably knows the timing of that day better than I do. But I left her, said goodbye, went to my parents' house. They immediately informed my sister had called and said that Jonathan Daniels had been killed. I said, can't be the same guy, I just left his mother. And so left it at that. Driving back to where we were staying in Fitzwilliam, had the radio on, the announcement came on, there was no doubt about it, it was John. I drove immediately to the house. She had just arrived home. There were people waiting for her at the house to finally get the news to her.
I was an avid believer that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice. That conservative Republican feeling did a 180-degree turn with John's death. I consider myself much more of a humanitarian than I would have been if I continued to have those feelings.
You know, we're only given a few moments in time. Take advantage of them. Be willing to commit and be open and honest and committed, and let the chips fall where they may. So John helped reinforce that.
The fact that John had no exclusion in his personality at all. We would play together, but anybody else was welcome to join us at any point in time, and I learned very early that there was no problem with that. That it really did not matter, no matter who joined us in any way. So I think John's effect on me started, very, very early.
He had in his being this tendency that others have spoken about of reaching out and helping anyone who was in need, of standing for the underdog. We know that he did this, and it became a habit with him. So he started with that, and then, especially after his reconversion experience at Easter time in 1962, he became, shall we say, aflame with faith. That sounds trite, but you know what I'm trying to say. He became very, he was theologically very astute. He has had a tremendous influence on me for both of these reasons, both the genetics and the faith, especially the latter. As some of you know, I went to EDS, which had been ETS, in other words, his seminary. And it would be melodramatic to say that I was, following in his footsteps, or that I would compare myself with him in any significant way. But I must say, I felt when I was there that I was, in fact, following in John's footsteps. So the conversations we had, the writings, which are very few but very intense, have still been influential to me. And it just amazes me still that a man who died at 26 could have had such theological profundity.
John's death, as I say, grew us up very fast. It was the beginning of our true conversion to really the hour I first believed. It influenced our life tremendously. John lives in us every day.